Hey, what is up, you guys? Coach Joey coming in. It is August 8th on a Monday. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm going to grab a bite to eat with my beautiful wife this afternoon. It's not too often we get to do that in the middle of the week. But anyways, while I was in transit, I wanted to come in with a little bit of a message for today because it is something that's a little bit current, especially when you start talking about the beginning of the week, beginning of the month, whatever the case is for you as an individual. So one of the biggest things that kind of helps me get through my day, whether it has to do with, personal, work-related, child-related, is goal setting. And goal setting could come in a multiple different ways. So you can look at this from, every component of your life, whether it's, finances, whether it's social or romantic relationships, whether it's with your children, whether it's fitness related, whatever the case is. Goal setting is something that essentially is just meant to keep you on track. So it's a lot easier to get where you're going when you know where you want to go. Here's the problem that comes in sometimes. Sorry, the camera's shaking real bad. I'm in transit here. Try to wedge something under there, keep it from happening. So here is a couple of things that you'll typically have to deal with when it comes to goal setting. Is one is you have to set stopping points for yourself, meaning that it becomes frustrating when, let's say that you're extremely overweight and you want to lose 100 pounds, and then you have a hard time seeing progress because that's such a big number, or whatever the case is, or you want to save X amount of dollars, or you have certain things that you want to do in your work or in your personal relationships or whatever it is. So I think that goal setting, you have to kind of break it up into a multiple of different areas. So a lot of my stuff, when I start my morning, a lot of my goal setting has to do with business, but you can do this in a multitude of different ways, and I'll explain the difference. So typically when I wake up every morning, I try to give myself 3 daily goals. My 3 daily goals could consist of anything big or small, but typically if I don't write them down, I know that they will not get done. So those of you who are entrepreneurs or have your own business or whatever the case is, when we talk about busy and business work, there's always going to be 2 things that you're going to do throughout the day. Busy work are usually tasks that need to get done, and then business work are typically things that will help increase production at work, create better relationships with your staff, create more revenue, or whatever the case is. I don't pick one or the other. I simply write down 3 things that I need to get done that day. So today, for instance, one of the silly tasks on my list was one of the members messaged me over the weekend and told me one of the toilets had broke. So I had to write down fixed toilet on my task list today. Now, fixing a toilet doesn't necessarily improve my business, but it's something that has to get done. And as service to members and people, it's nice that if all the toilets are in working order. So the first thing that I did when I got to the gym this morning and was ready to start taking some action is I fixed my toilet. Then some other things are related to, clerical work or whatever the case is, and I start just tacking them away one at a time. My daily goals, though, this is the important part, are things that you can complete that day. No excuses, all right? So when you look at this from a fitness perspective, a lot of people say, well, I want to lose 50 pounds. Okay. Well, if you map that out and you lose a half a pound a week, that's going to take you 100 weeks. It's going to take you 2 years, all right? Nothing wrong with that. It's a really good goal, especially if you're 50 pounds overweight. Now, when you start backtracking from that a little bit, you have to start coming up with daily, weekly, monthly goals. It's similar to what I like to do with my business. So a daily goal for your fitness goals could be go to the gym today. Pretty simple. It could be, instead of going out for lunch, I'm going to prepare my lunch. Very simple. That's something you can do today. It's not going to require a huge amount of effort for you to complete that one thing today. It could go even smaller than that. It could be, I'm going to park as far as I can from the door at any destination that I have to go to today. Again, those are the small things that are going to help you get towards your fitness goal that you can do today with very, very, very minimal preparation. And here's the thing, no matter how small it is, write it down, and when you do it, cross it off. That does a couple of things. Mentally, it's going to allow you to achieve those goals and cross them off, and you're going to have some fulfillment. 50 pounds isn't going to happen today, all right? So you're starting to give yourself an opportunity to start knocking those goals out, and you're going to feel good about it, and then it's going to push you to keep moving forward, all right? So that's number 1. Number 2, is weekly goals. Weekly goals are things that maybe require a little bit more effort. Now, as far as, you know, what it has to do with the business, for me, it could be something like launching a new program, or making sure that I have this taken care of, or making sure that I, you know, take care of the bills that I have to pay for the month, or whatever the case is. But it's usually something that I don't have to do that day, but it's important that it gets done by the end of the week. And again, this could be busy or business. It doesn't have to be one or the other. We're still in a short time frame. Now, when you start talking about this from a like personal financial standpoint, it could be save X amount of dollars, or put this much money away this week, or don't buy this week, or I'm only going to drive this far, so I'm not spending this much money on gas. And then when we bring it full circle back around to the fitness, remember, these are things that are going to require a little bit more effort. So it could be something like, I'm going to go to the gym 4 times this week. And then when you get to the end of the week, if you went 4 times, you could cross it off and you're going to feel good. It wasn't instant. You had to hold on a little bit further. Maybe you had a reason why you couldn't go to the gym, but you still made it because it was written down. It's going to be, I'm not going to eat at a fast food restaurant all week this week. That's going to be tough. Maybe you get busy. Maybe you have the temptation to go through the drive-thru because you got your kids and you come home from baseball practice and they're whining because they're hungry. And you know when you get home, you're going to have to cook, but you stick to it because you wrote it down and you could cross it off. All right? So that's really, really important. 3 weekly goals. Now, we move out a little bit further. Now, you could look at this at a multiple of different ways. You can start, you know, looking at a monthly goal. You could start looking at quarterly goals. You could start looking at 6-month goals. You could start looking at yearly goals. All of these are going to require a couple of different things. So these are the big goal pictures. So this is where you want to lose the 50 pounds. You want to save $10,000. You want to, you know, open a business. You want to, whatever the case is. The only difference that you'll realize between the big goals and your little goals is consistent effort, persistence, and patience. All right, so remember that. Consistency is number 1, persistence is a big one, and being patient, understanding that it's not going to be instant. But that's why we have the short-term goals. The daily goals are instant. The weekly goals, you don't have to wait that long for. You can feel good about the things that you're doing. But start giving yourself those goals and start checking them off. And I guarantee you'll start to develop a habit of goal setting. And if you fall off in the beginning, that's all right. It's not a big deal. Just get right back to it. Don't let it turn into that snowball where you just fall off track and you don't go back to it. All right, you guys? Sorry, this one's a little long-winded. But, you know, keep that on track. Don't get overwhelmed with your goals, and then keep plugging away at it. All right, you guys? Anybody who's a member at the gym, hopefully we'll see you guys this afternoon or this evening sometime. And enjoy the rest of your Monday. Coach Joey, out.